Hello there, lovely folks of YouTube. Ren here, long time no see. I'm gonna do a garden tour, even though my garden is an absolute fucking mess. Things have been wild, that's all I'm gonna say. I'll talk more about it at the end, give you a little like state of the creator address. But if you're just here for the plants, good news, we're doing that first. All right, let's get to it. I am gonna start by taking you over to the cold frame here. So, let's adjust the light. There we go. In the back, you can see are my 4, maybe 5 mandrakes. So the 4 are doing okay. They're getting to the end of their growing season because they don't like the heat. They always go dormant during the late spring, early summer. That's usually when I repot them. I will dig them out while they're dormant, see how big the roots are, if they need to be potted up into a larger pot, and transplant them as needed. This 5th pot that is currently appearing empty does have a piece of mandrake root in it. It's actually a piece that broke off from one of the other mandrakes. I put it in the pot by itself to see if it would do anything, and it hasn't. So I don't know whether that's actually going to grow or not. I will dig it up when I dig up the other ones and see what's going on with it. Other thing that's in here, of course, are my tomatoes and peppers of various types, ready to go out whenever I finally get my shit together and clean out the bed for them to go in. Over here, you can see this hazel, like you can't even, it's so freaking big. So this really needs to be pruned, honestly. I've been kind of loath to do it because it's so cool looking, but oh my god, it's gotten wild and out of control. Like, it actually blocks off a good portion of the gate that so I have to like duck and weave around the branches every time I go to bring the trash cans out to the front. Yeah, it's wild. The blueberries are doing great. You can see I got a bunch of fruits on this. This other little one has some fruits on it too. Raspberries have kind of moved over into the blueberries territory, so that needs to be rectified once the space for their bed is cleaned out, because holy no, that's a mess too. I did clean out this bed though. I have hollyhocks in here. They are not liking the humidity. Look at it's like a fungal something going on. That seems to happen to them all the time. But despite that, they're keeping on and they're putting up some flowers this year. I planted those last year. And then underneath, I also have a feverfew here, which is new. And that's going to be blooming for me soon as well. I don't think I ever actually showed you guys like the full scope of this tree in bloom. This is my Cheonanthus. It's the native Cheonanthus, Cheonanthus virginiana. It's fringe tree. I mean, look at how gorgeous that is when it's in bloom. It is just absolutely stunning. It's gotten really big. The thing was like the size of a pencil when I first planted it maybe 10-12 years ago. So this is pretty close to full size for this tree. It's probably not going to get much bigger than this. It's a nice little small tree. Another one that I did not prune this year, which is why now that it's in flower, a lot of these branches are really low. So I'm actually holding this just below head height, and you can see like, yeah. So this bed needs cleaning. That's going to be something, I don't know. Tomatoes are going to go over here this year, I think, along with the peppers. And this gargantuan mullein that volunteered itself here. Obviously, I'm not moving it. I'm going to leave it there until it flowers and then collect some seed from it. This bed has been planted, so there's still some weeds in there. I did kind of a half-assed job of weeding it yesterday, but I have some lettuce growing in there. I have carrots. I have radishes. Two of which is maybe a couple more are starting to bolt. Lots of parsley, and then whatever this brassica is. I'm not entirely sure what that is. I don't know if that's something I planted or not. We'll find out. And then the peas here, growing up a little bit. This bed is now where all my strawberries are. So all my strawberries have been moved over here to grow under the asparagus, which you can see. It's got that nice little tall feathery growth on it. I have not harvested any asparagus. I'm still waiting for this to establish itself a little bit better. I should get some strawberries this year though. You can see little babies growing there. So this is fun. That is the stone from the bottom of my pond. You'll see more of what I'm doing there. I'm actually in the middle of cleaning it. So this is where my strawberries used to be. This bed is mostly empty now. I'm planning on putting some of the plants that need more sun into this. So I've already moved my mugwort. I moved that in the fall because the mugwort was under the redbud tree and getting way too much shade and it was struggling. So this has been moved over here now and it's come back and it's happy. There's a lot of this shit in here I need to get rid of. Oh, wow. Let's see what else we got. Apple trees are appling. Here's a little baby apple. Boop. I'll weave you through the apple trees over here. I changed this up a little bit. I used to have just a platform for putting firewood for the fire pit here. I never really had much firewood, honestly, so I just took all the bricks out and put them in other places in my yard. Filled in this space with some sand, so it's now a doggy dig zone. One of my son's dog loves to dig holes in my yard, so we're trying to redirect her to an appropriate place to do that. The bayberries are like getting big. They're getting really big. And I had some flowers on them this year. Looks like they were... It's hard to tell between the male and the female on these until they, you know, decide whether they're gonna make berries or not. So we will see if I get some berries off of these or not. With my luck, they would be 3 male plants, and then I would just be out of luck. That sucks. We have another volunteer mullein over here in this area that also needs to be cleaned out. Growing up literally between 2 bricks in the edging. Super cool. But you can see, can you see? It's hard to get this thing to refocus sometimes. You get a little bit closer. My oak leaf hydrangea here in the back. It's got big old flower clusters on it. I also have some flowers on this baptisia here, which I'm kind of surprised because it's not usually a shade plant. That's another one that really should be moved. Oh, I'm stepping on something pokey. I'm out here in my bare feet like a dumbass. Blackberries are in bloom. I did prune those out along with my roses, which are also in bloom. Lots of little flowers. This is the it's a Pemberton rose. It's Penelope is the name of this rose, in case you need a reminder. And look, my pink peony bloomed this year. Yay! This is one of the peonies I got from my mom, from her garden. I have my other peony over here. There's a lot of cutting still from the roses that I need to clean up. But this is my other peony. This one's the Festiva Maximum. You can see it has those really distinctive red stripes on the multi-floral, multi-petaled flowers. So, big mess over here. Let's not look at that. Pots are mostly empty. I do have this giant rosemary that really needs to be pruned back. I have the horseradish. I've actually dug some of the horseradish over the Easter. And then the lovage here. I think this lovage I'm actually going to move over in that bed where the mugwort is. Give it a little more room to grow. But we have... This stuff has come back. I'm really excited about this. This is the blue vervain, the native one. We have so much agrimony that has seeded all over the place. And then of course this is my marshmallow here. That's also come back doing well. Oh good. This is my tansy. I moved it forward so it'd get a little bit more sun. Seems to be liking it, which is great. We have a couple of valerian plants that have volunteered themselves. This is not where the valerian normally is, but they're here and they're trying to bloom. And that's fine. I'll let them bloom and then I'll pull them out and dig up their roots. Works for me. Hiding in my Solomon seal here is my new elder. My previous elder had died from the elder borers, so I got a new one. This is this is not a fancy cultivar one. Like the one I had previously was the black lace. This is just the generic, you know, type, species type. Sambucus. Another hydrangea back there. Also putting up some good looking flowers too. It's gotten a decent size. The gardenias are like getting kind of big actually. Got hit a little bit by the frost and freeze that we had, but they're still making some flower buds there, so always exciting. And then this guy is also doing really well. I'm excited about this. This is my, I think it's a geranium maculatum, I want to say. It's the wood geranium. So this is a native, and it's a nice little spreading shade plant. It's doing good. Heat pump is on. I apologize if there's any background noise. You can see there's yet more valerian that has volunteered over here. That thing goes all over the place. But like I said, since the harvest from that is the roots, I'm kind of okay with it. And the hellebores, they still have their flowers. They're finishing up. You can see there's the seed pods in there. Once these seed pods dry out and open up, I'm hoping to harvest some seed from them. This guy, I really should prune him back, honestly. This is my Chaenomales, the Japanese quince. Hasn't really given me a lot of flowers this year. Not sure why. So maybe if I prune it back hard, it might be a little more aggressive, assertive. I think I have 3 meadowsweet here now. Let me see. There's this one, 2, and then the big one over here is 3. At least 3 of these meadowsweet. And finally, we'll talk about that in a second. This guy is super fun. It's starting to go into seed now, but this is, oh my gosh, what's the name of it? Golden ragwort. I can't think of the genus name right now. But this is a native ground cover, so it flowers with these really tall flower spikes. They're really nice, pretty, like yellow daisy flowers that make these little floofies in the spring. But they have these interesting little serrated, sort of heart-shaped leaves that are evergreen. They stay year-round, and it covers the whole, you can see where it's spreading and spreading and spreading and spreading. It spreads by rhizomes underground as well as seed. I started with a little plant that was like a little 3-inch pot, and now it's this whole area. So, and then looking behind that, we have my Ebtide rose. Has given me a bloom. Very exciting. That one is a sort of like a purplish kind of rose. It's a what kind of, it's not a rugosa rose. I'm drawing a blank on that one. But it's a really nice rose. Alright, so pond. Look at that. It's empty. There's all kinds of muck in there. I spent all of yesterday emptying it out. Basically my process for that was taking this little jug right here, and I have a metal strainer, which you can see right there. Scoop up a jug of water, pour it through the strainer into my watering can, and then lug that watering can all over my yard and water my plants with the dirty pond water, which is super full of nutrients. It's basically just a giant fertilizer boost for them. Now that the pond has had, you know, overnight to kind of like dry out, and you can see everything's kind of drained down to the bottom there, I can like get some old rags and just kind of wipe out all the muck accumulated on the walls, and then start putting my stuff back in it, which is right in this little bin right here. I put the wire over it so that the fish that are in there, which are a lot more vulnerable to predators when they're in this tub, because they can't dive way down deep into the bottom like you can see there. See that nice deep spot there? That's the fishy hiding place when they get something that is coming after them. They don't have that option in this little tub, so that's why the wire is over it. And then of course my little water lilies in there as well. So those are going to be transferred back into the pond once I get everything cleaned up. In addition to wiping out the pond, I also need to clean out all the, this is the pump in this little filter cover. That all needs to be cleaned out as well. It's probably, it gets pretty full of muck in the spring. So I usually take out the pump and disassemble it and clean it with like a little toothbrush. It is a bit of work, you know, it's work to maintain this. If the pond were any bigger, I probably would have invested into like a special pond vacuum that you can use to kind of vacuum all the muck out of the bottom. But with it being this size, I find that it's easier and more economical to just empty it once a year and clean everything out by hand. So It's usually a 2-day process. I should be done with it by the end of today. And I will have it ready by Beltane. So, oh yeah, happy Beltane, y'all. Actually, I'm filming this on the 30th, but it should be May 1st by the time y'all see this. So, let me find a good spot to sit down and then we'll talk. Alright, so I mentioned that this might be my last video in this garden. And the reason being is that we did finally get a new house. It has been a year of struggle going to literally every single house that became available that was met even the most basic criteria of what we were looking for. This is the 3rd house we've put an offer on. It's the 1st house that we managed to actually beat all the other bidders on and get. And I'm very excited for it. It's quirky. It's definitely going to need some remodeling. I'm okay with that. It's a good house. It's just a little dated. It's from the 70s and some of the things in the house are original, so it's fine. But it's got a gorgeous yard. A gorgeous yard, 3.75 acres. I have never had that much land to play with. A lot of it is wooded, but there's also a nice big clearing around the house for lots of sunny plants. So yeah, what that means is that continuing forward, this whole YouTube channel is going to be seeing a lot of videos about me building a new garden from scratch, which is going to be very different from what we had here because this was a semi-established garden. It's a mess, but it is, you know, a lot of these plants have been here for a long time. Instead, I'll be moving into basically a blank slate and getting to play around with it. So I'll be talking about some of the process and you'll get to see the new garden evolve over the years, which is exciting. So yeah, that is what I'm going to be working on. So you're not going to be seeing me again, probably not until well after I've moved into the house. We're expecting to close sometime in June. We'll probably be fully moved in by July, and then it's going to be way too hot to do anything outside other than just the most basic shit. So maybe September I'll give you a tour of the new house. We'll see, unless we get some really fortuitous weather earlier than that. But yeah, it's an exciting time. So some of y'all who have been following along know that I've been looking for a long time. So it finally happened. Yay! Don't really have... I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that's going on. I mentioned... did I mention? I don't know. Part of the reason why this is a mess and I haven't been able to do anything is, one, my allergies have really ramped up. Partially because I do have a lot of autoimmune disorders and I'm like subconsciously scratching myself even now as I speak. Right now I am allergic to some sort of pollen. It always happens around the 1st week of May. Like last week of April, 1st week of May is when it starts, and it's about like 3 weeks of me having hives and rashes all over my body, which is super fun. I basically sleep every night by dosing myself with a maximum allowable amount of Benadryl. It's a great time to be alive. And that's in addition to like the fact that, you know, we've had a lot of trips that have taken me away from home for extended periods of time, and it's hard to maintain a garden if you're gone for a, you know, 7 to 10 day span every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, every 2 months, whatever. So yeah, like I felt like starting in March I was like really getting on top of things, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be in my year, I'm gonna get all this shit spared up. And then we ended up having to go to Arizona, and yeah, then I came back and basically wasn't able to do anything at all again until like last week, and then I started breaking out. So it's been great, but anyway, we just keep on keeping on. The other thing that's been keeping me away as well is that I've been doing a lot more involvement in my local community. Now that I'm an initiate, I have more obligations to my tradition, well, to the craft, let's just put it. I am currently a 1st degree. I will be getting my 2nd degree probably in July, I think it is actually. So, of course, because I'm moving, it's making things tricky because I'm going to be, it's not terribly far, but I'll be about an hour away from the Covenstead, which is a bit of a commute. It's, for some of you, especially if you live in the Midwest, I grew up in the Midwest, an hour is like nothing. But for here in Richmond, which is like the biggest small town ever, An hour is a long time to drive for something, so my hours with the coven will probably be cut back. I won't be able to do the, like, 3 to 4 times a month, it seems like, that I go out there to see them, just due to the logistics of everything. But since I'll be a second, I can actually form my own study group under the guidance of my High Priestess. So I may end up forming the core of what will eventually become my own coven when I hive, because it's probably going to happen when I hit third. Let's be honest. That distance is going to be, it's going to overcome everything. So that will be exciting. I'll actually be running a coven. That's wild to think about, but yeah, obviously, that takes a lot of time and effort. It's a lot of effort. I mean, even just thinking about the logistics of all the supplies that I'll need to obtain in order to be able to run ritual for a coven, I'm like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, we'll see what happens. That's what I'm saying. I'd love to show you the new house and take you out into that new garden as it's forming. But it's probably not going to be every single month like it had been previously. We'll just see. Maybe things will work out. You never know. Okay, I'm going to cut it off here because I am just scratching myself raw. I need to go and put on some more hydrocortisone cream. So anyway, best of luck to all of y'all in this current environment. Love y'all, and maybe I'll see you in a few months. But blessed be.